someone who hasn't heard a real singer in the last 50 years. Voice of the century? Good gracious, man. I could have made a better noise with my bottom.
What does that do? I didn't quite catch.
I don't know why you buy this rubbish, Marianne. You know more about opera than the moron in this bag. How he can mention her name in the same breath as Baldy or Sutherland, I just can't imagine. I have a good mind to write to the editor.
Who are we talking about?
Her, of course. The one the papers have been oohing and ahhing about since she won that so-called talent show on television. Vanessa Rapture. Oh, Rapture's more like it. Her upper register is like fingernails on a blackboard. Did you hear her cast a diva in the final? Never mind putting my fingers in my ears, I nearly buried my arms in them.
I can't say I've heard her at all, to be honest.
Well, you haven't missed much, believe me. Why is it that anyone who sings anything other than pop songs these days is labelled an opera singer? Most of them couldn't perform an opera if their lives depended upon it. When I think of the training I had to go through.
That was 50 years ago, dear. The world's a different place now.
All the same, you don't sing Norma after a week's coaching with a former chorus member of Cats. Oh, there aren't the teachers anymore, those who really know voices. Where's today's Bergioli, for instance? Most of the ones I've come across couldn't tell a diminuendo from a bout of laryngitis.
We do seem to be having an off day this morning. Oh, problems at home again?
No, why should there be?
I can't help noticing your vitriolic side emerges every time Carla's in the country. 1 minute you're little Mary Sunshine, and the next it's Lucretia Borgia. Sometimes I have to think twice before wishing you good morning.
Don't be ridiculous, Marianne. Whenever I'm in this house, I'm as light-hearted as a butterfly. I don't know what it is about the place, dear, but when you finally shuffled off the mortal coil, I intend to sell La Fenice and move in here lock, stock and barrel. You wouldn't mind that, would you?
Well, if I'd already gone, you'd be welcome. But don't even think about doing your Princess du Bouillon act and bumping me off with a bunch of poisoned violets. I know that opera as well as you do.
Adriana Lecouvreur. I sang in San Francisco, you know, with Carlo Bogonzi. Such a lovely man.
So you told me.
It was the year I met Louis, the first time I mean. His company was sponsoring the production, though I had no idea at the time. It wasn't until the following year, when I returned to do Bohème, that the penny finally dropped. 6 months later, he proposed, and poor little me became Mrs. Willis Luxmore, the 5th richest woman in California.
And was that when the problem started with Carla?
No! She was a bitch from the day she was born. I don't know what I did to deserve her. Nothing like her sister. With Carla, it was always want. But with Amy, she never asked for a thing in her life. If it wasn't for that vile husband of hers. Still, we don't talk about them, do we? I've something far more interesting to tell you. You're going to love this. There's a chance we can trace her. Who? My birth mother, of course. A few more days and it should no longer be a mystery.
Really?
Do you remember the last time I visited? I told you that I had hired Andrew Perryman from Heritage Research to look into it for me.
Well, the only thing I remember about last time is you going on about the call you had from Carla and what you were going to do about it. You never mentioned an Andrew Perryman.
Well, you couldn't have been listening. I told everybody about it. Even that ghastly child on Celebrity Life magazine. do an in-depth interview with me when she'd never even heard me sing. I just can't imagine. I mean, I'd retired before she was born. When Opera magazine interviewed me in April '86, everyone...
I know I'm getting old, but I'm not in the throes of dementia yet, and if you had mentioned the name Andrew Perriman in my presence, I would have remembered it. So if you want to carry on with what you were saying, you better start at the beginning. That way I won't be completely in the dark.
Do you remember me mentioning I was adopted?
Yes, I do. You've told me several times. Not that you needed to. I'd read your autobiography long before you came to Durning-on-Thames.
Now you also know that my real mother dumped me on the Walgreens doorstep when I was a tiny baby and left me there to freeze to death.
Bit of an exaggeration, wouldn't you say? I don't recall August being that cold. But a dreadful thing to do in any case. Poor girl must have been desperate. And they never discovered who she was, did they?
I don't suppose anyone even tried. I wasn't the first unwanted child to end up in someone else's care. And she never came back to see if I'd survived the bombing.
Well, times were different then. In those days, an unmarried mother was stigmatized by all and sundry. Nowadays, it's almost a sign of sainthood. But she must have loved you, whoever she was.
Why do you say that?
The note pinned to the shawl you were wrapped in. Please take care of my little Trefosa. If she hadn't loved you, why would she have done that? And such an unusual name. I'd never come across it before.
Which is what I was trying to tell you. I found out where it came from. I was watching television last week and some nobody on the programme was going on about tracing her ancestry, because I wasn't the least bit interested, as you can imagine. Until she mentioned that she was trying to trace her grandmother's sister, who'd left the family home at the end of the war, together with her baby girl, Trefosa.
Oh, no,
No, that was 1946. I was born in 41, and you could hardly leave a 5-year-old in a shopping basket. Besides, before the programme ended, they told her that they'd found Trefosa's son, who'd been living in Dorking since 1968. And then they introduced them to each other. It was all very maudlin, as you can imagine, till someone had the sense to ask him where his mother had got her name from.
Well, I could have told you that. I looked it up on Google. It's from the Bible.
No. A French opera singer from the early 1900s. Or she could be German or Italian, he wasn't sure. I mean, it's even possible that she came from Australia or America, because quite a few of them lived in France in those days. For the coaching, you understand. Matilda Marchesi was the best teacher in Paris, and she had pupils from all over the world, Melba, Calvary. I was only saying, well, apparently his great-grandfather was a devoted fan and insisted that his newly born granddaughter be named after her. Well, her daddy hated the whole idea, left the church after the christening, and headed back for the US of A from whence he hailed, and was never heard of again. Trefosa died in 2004.
So how does that help you?
Well, if you'll stop interrupting, I'll tell you. Not surprisingly, I always regarded Jean Walker as my real mother, and her sisters, Rhoda and Winifred, my supposed aunts, of course. Now, before she married Lionel Walkley, her maiden name was Greenwood. Now, that didn't mean a thing to me at the time. Until last week, when Andrew told me that Grandmother Greenwood was a Morrison before she married, which means I'm a step nearer to finding out exactly who my real parents were.
Now you've totally lost me. If the Walkers adopted you, how on earth can tracing their ancestors help you to find out who yours were?
It's perfectly obvious. George Madison is the name of Ivor Kennedy's great-grandfather.
And who on earth is Ivor Kennedy?
The man on the programme, of course. Trefosa's son.
I think I need ignored too.
Somehow or other, there is a connection between George Malison and myself.
Well, how do you work that out? It could be pure coincidence.
With a name like mine? How many Trefoses do you know? You said yourself you'd never come across it before.
Well, I wasn't around at the start of the last
Oh.
century. But if she happened to be in the public eye, it wouldn't surprise me if mothers named their daughters after her. Look at today. Half the world is named after pop singers, footballers, or so-called celebrities.
Trefosa Bates was an artiste. And besides, she couldn't have been that well known. She never appeared at Covent Garden or anywhere else in Britain. I've checked. So, if somebody named me after her, it had to be someone who had hurt her in the flesh. And the most likely suspect is George Malison. He lived in Paris for 10 years, so I'm told. I could be her illegitimate daughter. It would explain the voice.
Oh, that's most unlikely. Voices are rarely invented.
Oh,
And if she was singing in Paris in the beginning of the 1900s, she would have been at least 60 by the time you were born.
well then, her granddaughter, it's possible. She may have left Paris to escape the Nazis.
And abandoned her baby on a war-grieved doorstep. Very operatic, dear. I'm surprised she didn't leave half a dozen scores for you to learn during the blackouts. Oh, I'm sorry, Professor, but don't you think it's a little late to be wondering who your real parents were? The Wolveries gave you everything you wanted. You said so yourself. Just be happy they adopted you and didn't let you go to an orphanage.
It's not a question of being happy. It's all very well for you. You know who your real family were. I want to know who mine were too. And since Louis, for some reason, left me most of his fortune when he died, I mean to find out. You know, I still can't believe it. I hardly got a cent out of him when we divorced. And I can't tell you what I went through after moving to New York, trying to pick up the pieces. Goodness knows what I'd have done if darling Beverly hadn't been on the board of the City Opera. She restarted my career, you know, and I won't have a word said against her. Sills was an angel to me. She adored my Zerbinetta.
I'm sure she did. But getting back to this research, what if you discover something you'd rather not have done? In my experience, it's best to let sleeping dogs lie. Waking up the past can be dangerous.
You wouldn't be saying that if you were trying to trace your real mother.
Maybe you're right. It's just that I don't see what difference it's going to make. It doesn't matter who your real birth mother was.
It matters to me! I don't want to die not knowing where I came from. Surely I deserve that much.
Of course you do. It's just that it all seems so vague. I wonder if it's because you.
Oh, who cares about money? I've more than enough to last me 20 lifetimes. The only one who'll be concerned is darling Carla. She in for a shock. She won't get a penny off it, but I've made absolutely sure of that.
You're not cutting her out of your will.
But she was never in it. Well, I suppose she was at one time. Until she decided to spit in my face and marry Harvey Gunter Mason. Can you believe it? Harvey Gunter Mason. If it hadn't been for him, I would have sung Tosca in Washington. Except that dreadful Castanella woman. Well, her voice was good enough, but the acting was terrible. And her figure, my dear, 40 stone if she weighed an ounce. Could you imagine her flinging herself on the top of Castle Fernando? She'd have caused an earthquake when she hit the ground. She and Harvey were having an affair. With him being their wealthiest supporter, the board decided to give me the push. And I ended up doing Trovatore with Di Stefano in Philadelphia. Oh, lovely voice. But my, didn't he know it. Of course, I had no idea at the time that my own daughter was another of Harvey's conquests. But the minute I found out, I had no choice but to make another will. She wasn't getting a penny of my money while she was living it up on his. Never trust Americans, Marianne. If they're patting you on the back, They're only looking for a soft spot to slide the knife in.
Didn't stop you marrying two of them.
And both of them swines, dear. Joe was more interested in his stable boys than meeting my needs. And as for Louis, well, let's just say he made Don Giovanni look like a Vestal Virgin.
According to your book, you weren't exactly Caesar's wife yourself.
Pure invention, darling, just titivation to keep the public salivating and increase theirs. As a matter of fact, I was only ever unfaithful twice in my whole career. Once with the conductor of the Vienna Opera, and once with the Philadelphia Orchestra. It's a joke, Marianne. During my time with Louis, I hardly looked at another man. Well, I may have looked, but I was far too busy building my reputation to do anything about it. Tea? Oh, and by the way, darling, I won't be dining here this evening. I'm meeting Andrew at the Waltard Hotel at 6 to find out what else he's discovered.
Well, in my opinion, it's a fool and her money are soon past.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Grayson, but is Mother still here?
Oh, come in here, come in. It's Amy.
Mum?
Oh, has he hit you again?
Of course he hasn't, Mother. I told you, he doesn't do that. I walked into a door.
Oh, and last week you fell down the stairs. Do you think I'm stupid, Amy? You've bruises all down your arms. And I suspect a cracked rib or two.
Mother?
Do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? Nobody knows more about breathing than a singer. I can hear you're in pain.
But I'm not. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just the cold I had last week. You know that. Frank would never lay a finger on me.
Then what are you doing here?
You've had a call from your agent.
Donald, what did he want? I haven't heard from him for weeks. I thought he died.
Well, someone's been trying to get a hold of you all morning. From Heritage Research, Mr. Perryman.
Well, why did he ring my agent? He's had my mobile number for days.
So you left it behind again, and I brought it over for you.
Have you ever considered that I might leave it behind because I want to? Unlike some people, my life does not revolve around mobile telephones and electronic devices. Given the choice between this and a clean pair of knickers, the latter would win hands down.
Well, he's been trying to get a hold of you all morning. Mr. Perryman, I mean.
Why? Has he found something?
Well, I don't know. He just asked if someone can let you know that he won't be able to make it tonight after all. He'll call again tomorrow if it's convenient.
Damn. I was looking forward to a decent meal tonight. Now I shall have to eat here again. No offense, darling, but you know how I love Italian food. And the Waltard do a wonderful tornadoes rossini.
Are you writing another book, Mother?
Book?
Heritage Research?
Mind your own business. Now you've done what you came to do. Marianne will show you out again. I'll be home at the usual time. That's if I can find a driver who doesn't need a sat-nav to negotiate his way out of the taxi rank.
Oh, well, Frank's coming home early this evening. He can pick you up.
I'd rather my chauffeur was a one-eyed camel driver with halitosis. I need the bathroom, Marianne.
You know where it is. Just ignore her, dear. She's been in a strange mood ever since she arrived this morning. Your sister again, I expect.
Carla, what has she done now?
I have no idea. It just seemed a reasonable assumption. Though I'm never sure if your mother's serious when she goes on about her. She does make her sound like some kind of monster.
They do argue rather a lot. On occasion they are speaking to one another.
Then maybe it's as well they live so far apart. Now, can I offer you a cup of tea before you go? I was just making fresh.
Oh no, that's really kind. I've
Oh,
got to
no. Please, sit down. No, oh, just a moment. You've got something on your cheek. Green fly. There. That's better.
He will be fine. I must be late back, just in case Carla comes round.
Is she not staying with you then?
Oh no, she wouldn't stay with us. Not with Frank being there. They were engaged to be married at one time, you see.
Your husband and Carla?
Yes, they met at Covent Garden while Mother was singing there. Carla went backstage after the performance and there he was. Love at first sight. They were talking by the stage door while Mother was getting changed. There was an awful row afterwards. Mother had booked a table at Balmain's and hated to be late, and Carla said that she'd have to go on without her because she was having dinner with Frank, and there was nothing she could do about it. Mother stormed off in one of her tempers, and we didn't see her for almost a week.
So what happened then?
Then she and Frank got engaged, but after about 6 months, she dropped him like a hot brick and went off to Italy without a word. Later on, we found out she was living with a fashion designer in Rome, quite rich, of course. She always went for the rich guys. Why she threw herself at Frank, I have no idea. He was only in the chorus and didn't have 2 pennies to rub together.
I didn't realise he sang.
Oh, yes. He had a lovely voice, according to Mother. She used to pay for his lessons with the teacher in Hampstead, but that was until Carla sunk her claws in. She cancelled their agreement and he couldn't afford them anymore.
So, how did you
Oh, I've known him for almost as long as she has. He used to cry on my shoulder and ask me what he'd done to make her leave him, and after the accident, I used to visit him in hospital. It was inevitable that we'd get together.
So, what happened then?
Oh, well, he came to live with us. He couldn't stay where he was living. It was Mother's idea that he came to live with us so we could look after him.
But if she didn't like him,
Well, she did. She adored him. Everybody did. And she was so furious with the way Carla had treated him that when we were going to get married, she offered to fund any further treatment to get him back on his feet. But he refused. He said, once the voice is gone, there's nothing anyone can do about it.
he lost his voice.
Yes. There was a fight outside his flat. 2 drunks were brawling and he tried to separate them. One of them stabbed him in the throat with a broken bottle and he couldn't speak for weeks. Afterwards we found out that his vocal cords were affected worse than he thought and his career was over. Though you wouldn't know it now. He could speak just as well as you and I do. He just can't sing anymore.
She never told me that. Not that she had any reason to, of course. Oh, poor man. Did Carla know what happened to him?
Yes, of course. I wrote to her and I told her. Just before she left Guido and went off to America. But I never got a reply. I know she got the letter because she met Mother in Washington a few years later and mentioned it.
And your father, where was he when all this was happening?
Oh, he died when we were teenagers. It was Joe we were living with then, Mother's second husband, an American with a half interest in a racing stable just outside of London. I don't know what happened there, but suddenly we were whisked off to New York and we never saw him again. By the time we returned to England, Mother was on her 3rd divorce, and I'd left my job at Max Factor, and I'd been learning makeup techniques. And then I became her personal assistant.
Oh, I expect you miss it all now. The first nights and all that beautiful music.
No, not really. I mean, it was nice to meet all the big names and things, but I'm tone deaf, you see. I wouldn't know my Tosca from my Tales of Hoffman.
Oh, you poor thing. I couldn't live without my music. I've been a music lover since I was a girl. You've only to see recollection. I've always regretted your mother never recorded. Oh, I've seen her on stage many times. But why the recording companies didn't snap her up, I can't imagine. Oh, I'll remember her Turandome till the day I die. Oh, she truly was a great singer.
Who was?
You were. I was singing your praises.
Then you're 15 years too late, dear. The last time I sang in public, the critics said I sounded like Callus on an off day, and I should have retired before the curtain went up.
No, they didn't, Mother.
Don't contradict me. And I thought you'd gone.
I asked her to stay for tea.
Good. Saves me chasing after her. But there's no time for tea, dear. Now that I'm not meeting Andrew this evening, I have the opportunity to do something I should have done weeks ago. I've just been speaking to my specialist, and he'll see us this afternoon. Are you wearing clean underwear?
What?
It's perfectly obvious that you have no intention of reporting your husband for assault, Amy, but I have no such reservations. You'll have a full examination to go with photographs and x-rays, and all will be given to my solicitor. I'll see you next week, dear.
No, I won't, Mother. I've told you again and again, he's got nothing to do with this. I'm just clumsy. You know that. You've told me often enough.
Nevertheless, you'll see Dr. Lorimer this afternoon and get this sorted out. I will not stand by and see my own daughter being beaten to a pulp by an obvious psychopath.
He's not a psychopath, and if anyone needs to see a doctor, it's you. You're not my keeper anymore, Mother. I'm a married woman, and you're just a control freak. Ow!
Perhaps so, but one with more intelligence than to believe that you hurt your eye by banging into a door. I wasn't born yesterday, Emily. Amy, the man needs locking up. Amy! Amy, come here! I'm sorry, but I must do something. I failed with Carla, but it's not going to happen with Amy.
It's none of my business, Professor. But are you sure Frank's ill treating her?
You think I don't know my own daughter? I suspected it for years. He's not going to get away with it. If Aidan Lorimer confirms that she's being abused, I might not wait for the police to handle it. I'll kill him myself.
Oh, Professor.
It's all very well for you, Marianne. You've only yourself to think about. No commitments, no husband, no family. I'd give my eye teeth to be in your position.
It can have its downside.
I don't see why. You're not short of money, you own a beautiful home, with friends to visit you. What more could you want?
I don't really know, to be honest. It's just that, okay, I have my music and my garden, of course. But sometimes there are just too many hours in a day.
Oh, Marianne. I don't give a damn for any political party, but I'd vote for the BNP if they promised me a 30-hour day. What you need, dear, is a hobby.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, of course you do. Nothing stupid like stamp collecting or train spotting. Something that will occupy your mind. Painting, grass rubbing, researching your family tree. Now there's an idea.
I have no interest in researching my
Oh,
family.
of course you have. Everyone's interested in who their ancestors were.
I know all I need to know about my ancestors.
No, you don't. You couldn't possibly. Where did your love of music come from, for instance? You told me that your grandmother came from Germany. You could be related to Mozart for all you know.
Oh, that's most unlikely.
Or Beethoven then. Or Offenbach. Or a barrel organist from Bavaria. The point is, you never know what you're going to find out. Look at me. I didn't know anything about my family until last week. Now I'm about to find out my real mother's name. I'll have a word with Andrew tomorrow. He'll know just how to get you started.
Professor, I am not spending out good money.
Oh, it'll be my treat. Goodness knows I shan't miss a pound or so. And you're the only honest friend I've got. Give him a few weeks and you'll have ancestors pouring through your letterbox.
But I don't want ancestors pouring through my letterbox. I'm perfectly happy as I am.
You say that now. But what if you find out you're a direct descendant of Handel? You'll be singing a different song.
No.
Now don't keep me talking any longer. I don't know where she's hiding herself, but she's going to see Aidan Lorimer this afternoon if I have to drag her there kicking and screaming.
Professor.
Oh, and before I forget, I've got tickets for Usalka next Wednesday. I'll pick you up at 6. We can have drinkies with Moretti before the show begins. He's only conducting the first 2 performances. Then he's off to Berlin for Lucia. With a bit of luck, he might take me with him. Don't forget, 6 o'clock sharp. La 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 la.
I don't want my family researched, and I've already bought out tickets to the Sunker. Why is it she never listens? I'm never in bed before 10, and you're not disturbing me. I was just listening to an old recording.
Tosca, second act. I recognised it when you opened the door.
This is Frank, my husband. I brought him along to tell you something. Haven't I, Frank? Well, go on then.
I know what you must be thinking of me, Mrs. Grayson, after what Trefosa said this morning. But it's not true. I never laid a finger on Amy. She's got it all wrong.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, but what has that to do with me?
Well, you're her oldest friend, Mrs. Grayson. Her only friend, really. She told me that many a time. If she'll listen to anyone, she'll listen to you.
I don't understand.
We had another argument this afternoon, and it turned into something of a screaming match. And poor Frank, he walked in right at the moment when she was making her mad scene and caught the full brunt of it. To cut a long story short, she told him to get out and never come near the place again. And I said, if Frank was going, I'd go with him.
Oh, Amy. So, what happened then?
God, she stormed out like one of the Valkyries.
But not before telling us that she was changing her will and she'd make damn sure that Frank never got a penny of her money. And neither would I unless I came to my senses and divorced him.
Oh, Amy, dear.
So that's why we've come round to see you.
What can I do?
We want you to tell her she's wrong about what she's imagined. I wouldn't be paid if my life depended on it, Mrs. Grayson.
Well, I'm sure you do, but how can I help? You know what she's like. Once she gets an idea into her head, it's almost impossible to change it.
But you don't need her money, Mrs. Grayson, and we do. If she cuts me out of her will, we won't have anything.
Oh, I don't think it will come to that, dear. She won't leave you penniless. Tell her you'll see that doctor of hers, if only to prove she's